What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened over the last week in the scale world of RC. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, make sure to hit the like button before you go. And let's get into this week's topics. And first this week, we have a release from Holmes Hobbies, and this is a new V2 version of their revolver motor. The revolver motors are outrunner style motors, so this is a very different style motor than maybe a lot of you are familiar with, but these are popular for a number of reasons. They have a ton of torque and are very smooth, and also don't require a censored ESC to run them. These have been running quite well on Castle Sidewinder 4 ESC, so a little bit less expensive on the ESC side and pretty affordable on the motor as well. Now, the V2 is coming in both a stubby and a standard length and multiple KV ratings in both types. The V2 version of this is lighter and has smoother startup than the previous version. So if you're interested in trying a revolver, maybe now is the time. Also, another thing worth noting is that the Holmes Hobbies Polar Pro motors, which have always been so popular, are hitting stock again. So if you've been waiting to pick up one of those motors, you might want to start checking very soon. And then next, we've got the release of the Axial SCX-10-3 ready to run version. Now, last week on Wednesday, Matt and I did our live show, and Rich from Axial came on and showed everybody the Axial SCX-10-3 for the first time, giving everybody a little look at it. The nice thing about the SCX-10-3 ready to run is that it is the exact same spec as the kit version was. So nothing's been taken out, no parts have been downgraded. It's just the exact same spec as before, but now it's pre-assembled and has the electronics installed. The electronics that are installed in this are the Firma 2-in-1 ESC. So it's got a Spectrum DSMR receiver built into the ESC. 2-in-1's not always the best because they kind of take away some of that, ability to upgrade one piece or another. But this is a nice compact and it's one of the smart ESCs. So it integrates some telemetry right into it. The cost of that Firma ESC on its own is only like $45. So it's a good ESC for people who are already Spectrum owners. It's a nice little option, especially for a very simple deal. It's only a 40 amp ESC, which is a little tight from what I would like to see used in an RTR. 60 amp is a little bit more overhead and would be nice to have seen, but regardless, I guess we'll see how this thing works in there. The SCX-10-3 RTR also comes with a 3-channel radio and 1 micro servo installed, and in the stock form, it is installed on the dig function that was in the SCX-10-3 kit. Now, if you would like to move that servo over to the 2-speed, you can do that, but you will not be able to add 2-speed and dig in this vehicle in stock form without changing out the radio. Personally, I would rather have dig than 2-speed, so I like the approach that they went with this one. Although I know that some people do want to have all of the functionality out of the box, so fallen a little bit short there. From what we've heard last week, these are already starting to hit the distribution centers, and we're going to see them shipping out to retailers very soon. So with the release of this, you're going to be able to put your pre-orders in right away and hopefully receive them in the next couple of weeks. These RTRs are coming in 2 colors right away as well. One is kind of a sting gray and the other one is said to be in burnt orange of some sort, but it looks very red in almost all of the photos I've seen. Maybe it looks different in person, but from all of the press photos I've seen, looks pretty red to me. I'd have a pretty hard time choosing between those two. While obviously I really like orange, it's not 100% the orange I'd go with, and I really like that gray color, so it's a toss-up. Switching gears a little bit, Tekin released the new Eliminator series motors. These are brushless motors specifically designed with drag racing in mind. They come in 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and 5.0 turn. These are some hot motors. This features 60 degrees of adjustable timing, some high torque magnets, lightened, oversized bearings, and again, specifically marketing these towards RC no prep drag racers. I'll be excited to see how these things run, and it's just yet another product that's just really being pushed at this no prep drag racing scene. Cool to watch and see all of the products in this area kind of come up. I'll put links to these motors as well as the rest of the products that we're talking about in today's news in the description below. Next, we've got another product that was shown from Cross RC. Now, a few weeks ago, we showed Cross RC's new IFS front, solid axle rear rock racer in kind of a larger scale. in that vehicle, they specifically showed a driver figure, but now we're seeing that that driver figure is being made available separately. It's a 1/7 scale driver figure though. So it seems like it's going to have very few applications other than in that specific UT4 vehicle that they showed it in. Because beyond that, while a lot of us work in a larger scale than 1/10 when you're actually measuring things out, that's usually closer to 1/9, possibly 1/8 at times. But 1/7 is getting quite a bit larger than is going to fit in most any of our scale vehicles. This driver figure is shown is coming unpainted. It's got articulated joints and limbs, and it appears that it's set up to have an actuated head to it. So in the video that they're showing, they see that they show that it's actually moving back and forth, both on this little stand that they have and installed in the UT4 that they use for promotional video. Also, there hasn't been any price listed yet or any actual specs. So we don't know if it's supposed to come with a servo or if that's just something that you can add as well. Not totally sure. Still gonna have to wait for more information on that. We'll see what the price comes in at. RC Nerds is a company that produces a ton of 3D printed or 3D printable scale detail files for a wide variety of bodies. And recently they released some parts for the Proline 1966 Bronco body. And one of the items for that Bronco body that got posted up in a photo this week was their grill specifically for it. And this grill is that blend of the concept Bronco grill that we've been seeing for years and years, but molded onto that 1966 Bronco body. And it just looks so good. They posted pictures of this thing fully detailed in kind of a cool cityscape. But all of the parts that they make for that 1966 Bronco really fit that thing well. So if you've ever thought about building one of those, or possibly you have one already, maybe go check out RC Nerds for a bunch of the parts that you can detail up on that body, or check out their huge catalog of other parts for things that you could add to maybe your current build. Team K&K Hardware this week released some hardware. Big surprise, but it is actually a little bit different. This is M2 and N2.5 scale hardware. So now if you're looking to add some scale hardware to one of your builds, here's another source for you. Go check them out. Obviously, they also carry a ton of vehicle specific kits and bulk packs. And now this new option to just make your decisions even harder. But go check them out, see if they have something specifically that will work well for you. A few weeks back, we talked about the new release from RC4 Drive of those 2015 D90s, and those have officially hit stateside, and now you can start to see those things rolling into dealers. Matt from the Scale Builders Guild also released a video on it here recently, kind of outlining and showing how good those things look in person. While the platform that it sits on underneath is a platform that's been around for a really long time, that brand new body that sits on top has a ton of good looking detail. And still, even not being a huge D90 fan myself, that half cab version looks really good. So if you've been thinking about pulling the trigger on one of those and you just didn't want to pre-order, maybe now's the time. You can order it, get it on the way right away. And that does it all for the regular news, but we still have some other pretty big news to discuss. And first is that Monthly Mayhem is coming back. Matt and I are excited for this one. This one is going to be an absolute blast. Cannot wait to jump into this project. It's going to I think at this point, hands down, it's the one I'm the most excited about. So really looking forward to that. We're hoping to start at the very beginning of July, and just depending on how everything rolls out, I think we're gonna be able to do it. So get ready for that one because it's going to be a blast. And then next, we're gonna do another giveaway, and we're quickly approaching 50,000 subscribers to the channel. And I wanna thank you guys a bunch. It's been a great last few years, especially for the channel. But I want to do something for 50,000. I think what we're gonna do for this one is I'm gonna do a build up of a custom truck. We're gonna try and get it 100% RTR, and we're gonna send that out to one lucky winner somewhere. We have to make some decisions though before we fully jump into it. Now, I have the base vehicle here that I think I'm gonna use, but we've got a ton of other decisions to make. So this week, what I'd like you guys to do is tell me, would you rather see Tiny Tire 19 or 47519, and what body would you like to see? I'm really leaning towards the creeper van build. I just think that this would be the perfect opportunity to start a van build. I didn't have really any other reason that I needed to start one, but I think doing it for the giveaway would be perfect. So let me know, what are you guys thinking? Where should we go tire size, and what body do you think we should actually go with? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we're gonna get this giveaway kicked off pretty soon. I wanna thank you guys again for subscribing. Everybody, it's a huge help. If you're not subscribed, consider doing it. We're gonna give this thing away to one of you guys who is subscribed. Once we hit 50K, we'll ship this thing off to one of you. But that's gonna do it for this week's news. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, coming and joining us every Tuesday for the Scale News Update. If you like these videos, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.